What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Link, and Zcash. Those are the ones we're going to be covering today. First of all, I want to start out with Bitcoin, and we're going to be looking at that $11,478, this area right here. So yesterday, we had a nice candle. We wicked up to that $11,500, we'll call it. Got a nice little wick left here. So today's important to see if we get that follow through, because we did have some short-term profit taking here. But everything so far has been looking pretty good. We want to see continued volume come in, so a little bit more volume to help get us through this $11,500 and potentially candle close up above that. If we do candle close up above that, we're going to look at $11,932 is going to be our next target right up here. We got a nice little gap. We may be able to hit that and then maybe cool down a little bit, have a retracement, maybe make that next push up to try to get over top of 12,305 is going to be the ultimate top that we want to get up through so that we can continue this intermediate term uptrend that's almost turning into a longer term uptrend now, depending on people's definition. Some people say 6 months or longer is a long-term trend, or some people say a year or more. So it just depends on what book you're reading and whatnot. But this has been a nice steady uptrend here for about 7 or 8 months. And we got nice continuation out of this symmetrical triangle, nice break to the upside. The only thing I'd say is still we want some more volume to start getting back up over top of some of these critical areas and keep this moving just like we did back here, where we kept it moving. Then we had a nice retrace, took several, weeks. And now we're trying to get this moving again, keeping these higher lows intact, staying up above that 20 EMA, that 50, the 100, and the 200 moving average here. So we're up above all our moving averages. If we take a look in on the technicals, we are having a 2 sell, 8 neutral, and an 18 buy. Right now, oscillators run a little bit more neutral. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So that's going to be Bitcoin. Let's just see if we can get that continued volume. And we'd want to continue to hold $11,000 as support now. Next, we're going to move into Ethereum. ETH's at $376. Also, guys, if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today. It's nice to see some coins moving a little bit here. We just want to see that continued swell of volume, that buying pressure. That's what we really need to see here. So for Ethereum, we're up above all our important moving averages, so that's looking good right there. We still are setting our higher lows. What we want to continue to hold as support is $332. Overhead resistance, we need to get up above $378. Then it's going to be up around that $400 psychologically. Those are going to be the next overhead targets that we need to get through. RSI is sitting at 57. Losing a little bit of steam here, as you can see, but that's normal. Typically, guys, when you make nice, strong moves to the upside here, since our bottom, if you take your price range tool, we've been up roughly about 21%. So even if we cooled down just a little bit in the shorter term before we could potentially make that next move to the upside. Technicals for Ethereum, we're looking at a 1 sell, 10 neutral, 17 buy. Oscillators very neutral as well. Moving averages looking good like we talked about. So that's going to be Ethereum. Just really watch those levels. 332 for support, and then overhead resistance we want to crack 378. See if we can get up there around $400. Next, we're going to move into Litecoin. Litecoin's been moving pretty well here. And one thing we were looking at for Litecoin, we were trying to get back within this white trend line that we broke down through. And typically we've talked about this before, where you'll have those pullbacks onto this trend line. You want to see what you do with that. If you're going to see rejection, we start dropping farther, or if we actually get back up inside that again and start working. And today would be very important for Litecoin. If we could get this candle even to close how it is now. So say we had a close like that, that would be a close up above the 200-day moving average, which would be good because we lost it back in September 3rd. So it's been quite a while. We've been trading below that 200. We want to get back up above that. We want to continue to keep these higher lows intact and keep moving. The next upside target we're going to have is around $53.84. If we can keep that volume coming in, see if we can get up above that area. Above that, then we'd be looking to about $56. In terms of the downside, we wouldn't want to lose roughly about $47.95 is what I'd be looking at. In terms of the technicals, RSI is at 62 right now, just moving to the upside pretty decently. But remember, if Bitcoin all of a sudden wants to cool down, it's going to take Litecoin with it most likely. We have a 2 sell, 9 neutral, 17 buy. Oscillators, 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy. So Litecoin's actually looking a little better than some coins right now, just starting to get that move to the upside. And we know when Litecoin runs, it runs very hard, fast, and aggressively. I mean, even from the last low that we had down here when we were looking at this up cycle, we ended up going 77%. That's how fast these moves happen. Same deal to the downside. You can lose all that as well, and that's why I think swing trading is one of the best things you can do in this market. So that's Litecoin. If you like me covering Litecoin, guys, people still out there watching Litecoin and trading it, let me know. I'm curious to see how many people are still trading it. I like Litecoin. You know my take on it. Next, we're going to go to Link. Link's at $10.61, looking decent right here. We've continued to hold these higher lows over top of this 200 moving average. So we're still holding our 200 moving average. We're up above the 100 now. We're trying to get up above the 50 EMA, and that's going to be at $10.70. So that's going to be the next target. We need a candle close up above that. If we can get up above that, we're going to look all the way, probably most likely up to around $12.74 if we can keep this moving to the upside. And then some really staunch overhead resistance. If we did run hard and fast, it'd be around $13.92. We're just not there yet right now. Buying pressure's been about average, and this is where we want to get those big swells, just like we had back here when we had that bullish engulfing candle. So that's what's going to be important for Link. I was looking at a volatility stop for Link. This is something I like to look at too, just to follow trends. So our volatility stop for Link right now would be roughly around $8.50, but I think that'd be a bad spot to put it, just due to the fact it's right around that 200 moving average, and typically that'll want to be defended for a while. So I'd actually probably go a little bit lower than that just to be safe. But what I like to use the volatility marker for here, or the volatility stop, is just to show the trend and when it's changing. Just like up here, you see these red dots? That was showing a downtrend, and now we're starting to change into that uptrend, trying to keep those higher lows going. So it's going to be most important for us. RSI is at 52 right now. If we take a look at the technicals in on TradingView, we're looking at a 7 sell, 8 neutral, and a 13 buy. So we have the buy signal there. In terms of the oscillators, we have a 3 sell, 7 neutral, and a 1 buy. So cooling off a little bit there on the oscillator. So we want to keep an eye on that as well. But the main thing is just keeping this moving as we're at this overhead resistance of roughly $10.80 right now. So that's going to be Link. Then I want to go to Zcash next. Zcash is one I know a lot of people really don't pay much attention to, but I think it's a great coin. I think it's one that's going to do really well, and it's running hard today, so I want to throw that in. And what we're coming up to is an overhead resistance area. Zcash right now is sitting at $71.91. It's up 8% right now, so that's looking good. Volatility stops at 62.13, so that's showing the uptrend. RSI is moving up. We're at 63.99. Typically, when we do run hard, it gets up into the high 80s before we start selling off. So these are the things that I like to pay attention to. You can see our bottom. We basically had a double bottom. We pushed up. We've had our retracement. Now we're trying to get that next impulse wave to the upside, looking for more volume right now. That's the thing we're missing, just a little bit more volume. That is a strong candlestick, but we'll see as the day progresses if we can continue to get a big swell of volume. In terms of support, we want to hold that 200 moving average at $60 roughly. We don't want to start dropping back below that. If we take a look at the technicals, getting a strong buy, 1 sell, 9 neutral, 18 buy. Oscillators, 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy. Moving averages looking good here. But I think Zcash, guys, truly this was one, if I zoom all the way out for you, just to give you an example of where we're at here in the market cycle. Take a look at this, how low we actually are down in here. And I'm using the arithmetic scale right now because we're doing shorter term trading. I used a log when we're going a little bit longer. But you can see here how we've basically got this double or triple bottom down here. We found strong support. Now we're starting to have impulse waves to the upside, and that's what we need to get us moving. But the ultimate high on Zcash before was $903. It's crazy, right? How fast these things can go up and how low they can actually go here. But you can see on the RSI in the longer term, we're also having higher lows here. So we just want to keep this going. But know that the RSI can get up to about 88.90 before you really want to start taking profits, because when these pushes come, they just really keep riding. Best thing you can do is even put like a trailing stop behind or something. But I just want to put this stuff out there for you guys. God bless you all. Take care. Hope you all are doing well.